I got the call late one morning from a luxury VIP Middle Eastern beachfront resort, and one of their guests had dropped something really, really valuable into the sea. And he was bobbing around on one of these banana boats, which are terrific fun, but unfortunately his watch sprung off his wrist and went flying overboard. And what was all the fuss about? Jaeger-LeCoultre are a Swiss watchmaker founded in 1833, and they make beautiful watches. They range from $2,000 or $3,000 to hundreds of thousands of dollars. And this particular watch was lying about 200 feet below the surface. Now his friend was very good because he was watching the whole thing from the beach, and he saw the moment when the watch flew off and went into the air, bounced on top of the surface and disappeared. And what was useful is that he knew how far out, he had a left and right spectrum, so we had a pretty good idea of where it might be. Now the problem with the ocean is there's lots of it, and I had to go in and find it. It was a long swim out, and the waves were choppy, there was a bit of a current, the wind was kicking up, and when you arrive at the position you've got to stay there a few seconds, and then you have to drop, you have to be the watch. And the good thing about the watch was, because it's metal and relatively heavy to the surrounding water, is it should drop fairly vertically. So if you recreate that as a diver, you just drop down, slowly sink, then you should land obviously right on top of it. And unfortunately that's not always the case. So let's have a look what really happened in the belly of the ocean. As I dropped down, the absolute worst was confirmed. Nothing but brown, broken, jaggedy, overhanging coral and rocks, into which anything small would have fallen and been swallowed up. And the problem with that, it's very hard to locate small objects. There was even a beer bottle nearby, I could see it down there, somebody had thrown it in. And that was really hard to see. It was 6 times bigger than a watch, and it really didn't show up. So the best thing to do was just concentrate on an area and have a really, really good close look around and hope for the best. The planned bottom time was 20 minutes, which might sound like a long time, but when you're that deep, and I'm past 150 feet now, your air consumption increases with depth, and with limited tanks and time, there was only so much you can do. And after a while I looked at my computer and I had 2 or 3 minutes left, so I was right on the wire. And I thought what might be a good idea was to head out into deeper water where all this jaggedy brown coral stopped and it opened up into clear, beautiful white sand. You can see much, much more. You have a much better chance of seeing something small. And I headed out, and in the distance something caught my eye which didn't really fit into the surroundings. And the closer I got, I could see these 2 little strappy things sticking out with a small square thing in the middle. And by this time the nitrogen narcosis is kicking in, my head's gone a bit fuzzy, it's a little bit like having too much to drink, and your vision slightly goes off. But there was something, and I got closer and closer and closer, and there was his watch, his $50,000 gold beautiful watch, lying in the sand, having fallen off a boat 200 feet above, probably travelling about 25 knots in the chop. And I picked it up. I couldn't believe it. And the first thing I thought to do was just to turn the camera around and wink my eye into the camera. And I shook my head and I gave the thumbs up sign as if to say, well done, but also get out. It was really now past the limit, time had run out, and it was time to go. Well, the last thing I wanted to do was drop it again, so I clipped it off onto a torch, because if I did drop it, then with a torch on it would show up at night. And somewhere a long way above was the owner, who I think was very anxious to get it back. So should we give it to him or put it in the pocket? Oh, sorry mate, couldn't find it. Let's have a look. Was he delighted? Was he pleased? Up we come. I got the police after me now. I gave it back. Go away. We're okay. It's the ambulance. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. And next time I'll tell you how I found 10,000 golf balls in a lake at night, and also what I did with them. So please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button and also the notification button, and that way you won't miss anything. So thank you very much for watching, and see you next time if I'm not in jail.